everyone, welcome back to the channel. I know a lot of you have been waiting for this. This is the updated Yubel combo video. We're going to go through all of the combos I've shown in previous videos, updated for post-ROTA format, including the quote-unquote new God board. So just let's get into it. But before we do, remember to hit that thumbs up button to like the video if you enjoy this type of content. And if you aren't already, hit subscribe. It really helps the channel and allows me to keep making more content. So with all that being said, let's get to our first combo. So our first combo is going to be the one card Card Lotus. Most of you have probably already seen this combo if you've watched any of my other videos, and that's okay. If you've already seen this combo, just skip ahead. There'll be timestamps for every combo in the description or chapters for this video. But for those of you who haven't, we're going to show that combo right now. So we'll start off with the normal summon of Card Lotus. Activate the effect to get Spirit of Yubel. Spirit effect will then set the Nightmare Pain to field. Very specifically set it to field to play around Droll if necessary. Then we'll activate Pain to destroy the Spirit, adding Squirmer to hand. We'll trigger Spirit. Spirit will then special summon Yubel out. And then from here, we don't need Spirit and Lotus Engrave, so we're going to contact fuse them together to make Phantom. This just insulates the rest of our combo from our opponent potentially nibbing us later. Now that that's set up, we're able to use the Squirmer effect here to special summon from hand, and then Squirmer will destroy Yubel. This is where we now trigger the Yubel effect to special summon out Terra Incarnate from deck. We have two bodies, so at this point now we're able to link into Moon. We're going to link Moon into Requiem effect, and here we're going to summon the new monster from ROTA. Essentially, we're going to summon the new Lacrima every chance we get, because it's just going to add more resources for us in graveyard for the follow-up turn. On summon, the new Lacrima is a Foolish Burial for any Fiendsmith card, so you actually can send the Fiendsmith spells or traps as well as the monsters. However, in most of the combos I'm going to showcase, we're going to be using this card to send the Fiendsmith Engraver to grave. So we'll send Fiendsmith Engraver, and here we're just going to activate Requiem to place onto the Lacrima, and then we're going to make Necrocrypt Princess. Then now we're going to activate the Fiendsmith Engraver effect Engrave, putting back the Moon so that if we need to remake Moon later in the combo, we can. And then we're going to special summon out the Fiendsmith Engraver. Next case, we're going to use the Gruesome Gravescrimmer effect to special summon back the Yubel from Graveyard. And we're going to link off Engraver and Yubel for the copy of Yama. Yama effect will trigger to get Shavara from deck. And then we're going to use the Terra Incarnate and the Yubel Engrave to contact fuse for our second Phantom. This is one of the reasons I like to personally play 3 Phantoms, because a lot of your combos do actually showcase using 2. Then we make our copy of Soul of Rage, and then we're going to activate Shavara effect in hand, destroying the Soul of Rage, and that's going to create a chain link of Yama, chain link 1, Soul of Rage, chain link 2, and this is how we're going to add the Fiendsmith Engraver back from graveyard to hand. So we'll get that done, and then here it doesn't realistically matter what you summon from grave, because you're just going to use it as link material anyways. In this case, we'll just summon Lacrima because we can. Now we're going to activate the Fiendsmith Engraver in hand to search Fiendsmith Tract from deck, and because we used a monster effect, or we discarded a monster to activate a card effect in hand, we're able to use Necrocrypt to draw a card, and for this case, we'll just say we drew another copy of Infinite Impermanence. Now we're able to activate the Fiendsmith Tract to search Lurie, and then we're going to discard Lurie, special summon Lurie from grave, and then we're going to link off Lurie and Shavara, or it can be Shavara and Lacrima. As long as it's one of them, it doesn't realistically matter as long as you make sequence. Then we're going to trigger Shavara to set the Chamber. I like to set Chamber. I like to play Chamber over Escape, and the reason for that is I feel like it's less commitment to use Chamber, where if you want to play Escape, you have to play a second Yama in the extra deck, and I like to have that be a flex spot. If you want to play a third Phantom, you can. If you want to play Underworld Goddess, you can. Underworld Goddess is actually a fiend, so that comes up a lot. But yeah, that's just how I like to play it, and that's going to be the common thing in these combos. We're not going to be using Escape with double Yama. So now that we have Sequence, we also have 3 Light Fiends in Graveyard, which means now we're able to use Sequence effect to make Desiree. So we'll put back 3 Light Fiends to make our Fiendsmith Desiree. Then we're going to link off Lacrima and Sequence, or whatever the body you left on field was, with the Sequence to make Muckracker, activate the sequence effect Engrave to equip to Desiree. Now, this is where that extra card we drew off of Necroquip comes in use. We're going to use Muckraker's effect, discarding that extra card we drew to then special summon back Shavara. And then we're going to overlay the Shavara and the Necroquip Princess for Wave Hiking Caesar. So just to review what we have in this combo off of one Samsara Lotus is we have 2 interruptions off of Caesar. We have a 3rd interruption off of Chamber, which will be Soul of Rage, which will then create a 4th interruption with SP Little Knight, 5, 6 interruptions with Desiree, 7 interruptions with Phantom of Yubel, with 4 random cards in hand that could all be more interruptions, so a total of 11 interruptions off of one Lotus. Now we move on to the 1 card Nightmare Throne combo. Previously, you were able to do the same 1 card Lotus combo, just under with Nightmare Throne instead. The alternative is I also showed a combo utilizing Silver Hat Rabbit. Today, we're not going to do that. We're just going to show you the best board you can make that will end on Vordris, the rank 10 Omni Negate, using 1 Nightmare Throne. So, start out by using Nightmare Throne to search Lotus. Then we're going to normal summon Lotus, and we're going to use Spirit effect to then get Nightmare Pain, set it to field, then you activate Nightmare Pain, destroying the Spirit to add the Gruesome Gravescrimmer from deck to hand. Here, Chain Link 1, you're going to use Spirit, and then Chain Link 2 is going to be Nightmare Throne to add Terra Incarnate from deck to hand, special summon, ignoring summoning conditions, and then Resolve Spirit to summon Yubel. At this point in the combo, we're going to link off both of our Yubel monsters for a copy of Moon of the Closed Heaven. So this is the one point in the combo where your opponent can actually Nibiru you here. But if your opponent nibs you here, it is actually fine. It doesn't matter. You have a lot of follow-up by still having access to Gravescrimmer, being able to contact fuse into Phantom, and then being able to make Yama, and then destroying that same Yama. And then using the Yama using the Shavara to destroy something on field, and triggering the Yama to get back out the Moon, and then Moon will be able to get you into your Fiendsmith combos. So it almost makes your opponent's nib irrelevant. But for the sake of this combo, let's say your opponent doesn't have nib. At this point, we're going to contact fuse our Yubel and Terra Incarnate into a copy of Phantom, and now we are just protected. So we'll link off the Moon into Rec Room, activate Rec Room, and this time still summoning the new Lacrima, because Lacrima gives us more bodies. Lacrima effect will trigger, send Engraver, and then we're going to use Rec Room effect here to equip to the Lacrima, and then sending the Lacrima to grave to make a Necroquip Princess. Next, we're able to use the Engraver effect, put back the Moon, and then special summon the Engraver. Now that that's all set up, we're able to special summon out the Gruesome Gravescrimmer from hand, and then we're going to link the Engraver and the copy of Squirmer off for a copy of Yama. Here we're going to use Yama effect to add Shavara, and then we're able to now link off the Necroquip and the Yama to make a copy of Unchained Soul of Rage. This is where the combo gets a little bit different. We're going to use Squirmer here, special summon back Spirit, and then we're going to activate Shavara in hand to destroy the Spirit. Next, we're going to trigger the Spirit effect and the Yama effect here. So we're going to activate Spirit, it's going to special summon out. And with the Yama here, make sure you pop the Soul of Rage, because we're going to need to be able to use the Soul of Rage to add Engraver back from graveyard to hand. So special out your Yubel, and now we have the 2 10s on field. Then we're going to use Soul of Rage here to then target Engraver and add it to hand. This is how we're going to get to our Light Fiends to be able to continue to play and make Desiree. We're going to use Engraver effect here, and we're going to add Tract. Then we activate Tract. We're going to add Lurie, discard the Lurie, activate the Lurie effect to special summon it back to field, link the Lurie off with the Shavara, and then Shavara will trigger here to get you the copy of whichever trap of choice. Again, I said I like to use Chamber because I believe it's harder to play around Chamber than it is to play around Escape. So we're going to set Chamber. At this point, we now have 2 10s on the field that we don't need them to be there. We've cleared the Shavara Fiend lock, and we're going to make sure we can make Varudris now with our 2 10s. At this point, now we're going to be able to activate Sequence, put back 3 Light Fiends. I specifically like to put back the Lurie and leave the Lacrima Engrave, because I can still draw into Tractor Engraver, and then I am able to get the free summon off of the Lurie by playing the second Tract. So that's why I do it that way. So we'll make Desiree, and then we're able to use the sequence effect here to equip to the Desiree. And that's going to be your end board in this combo. So to review what we have off of one throne, we have 2 interruptions from Desiree, 3rd interruption from Vordris being the Omni Negate, possible a 4th interruption if you call it the Destruction and Interruption, 5 interruptions from the Chamber, 6 if you cut the Soul of Rage to go into SP, 7 if you go with the Phantom, and then 8, 9, 10, 11 with the 4 cards in hand. So this is your 1 card throne combo that now ends with Vordris on field. Now we have the updated Dark Beckoning Beast combo. This doesn't play around really any hand traps, so you have to play into a lot of things to access your Yubel engine. But if you go uninterrupted in your combo line, this is what the board now looks like. Starts off with Summon Dark Beckoning Beast, use it to get Spirit Gates. Spirit Gates gets you a 2nd Beckoning Beast now. Full disclaimer in this one, we now, with the limitation of Spirit Gates, we don't play Chaos Summoning Beast because it's not worth it to play 1 brick to make 1 card a starter. So we just eliminate that brick. So you have to start with Beckoning Beast now. You can't start with Spirit Gates anymore. So use the Beckoning Beast to extra normal summon the 2nd Beckoning Beast, and we're going to make Moon of the Closed Heaven, and then we're going to go Moon into Requiem effect, and summon out your new Lacrima. Lacrima effect activates on summon to then send Engraver from deck to grave. And then we're going to use Engraver effect here to summon out itself by putting back the Moon. Do it this way to help play around Bestials. This way you're always going to make sure you have the Light Fiend on field. This is just something I like to do before summoning Necrocrypt. So then after we successfully get Engraver onto field, we're then able to use Requiem effect to send itself and Lacrima to grave. If you make Necrocrypt first before you summon Engraver here, your opponent can just Bestial you on the Engraver, and then you don't have a Light Fiend monster on field. However, if they do stop you with a Bestial, you're able to use the Spirit Gates here to just bring back a Beckoning Beast by discarding a card in hand, and then you're able to still go into your sequence place, so the Bestial doesn't mean a lot. Just a little thing to make note of if you're going to make Necrocrypt here. Personally, I always like to make Necrocrypt here because I want to put the extra Dark Fiend in graveyard for when we make Area Leader. Now that we've gotten to this point in the combo, I'm going to link them both off for a copy of Sequence. We're going to use Sequence effect, putting back the 2 Dark Fiend monsters, 1 Beckoning Beast and the Necrocrypt. That's why we make Necrocrypt in this combo. And then we're going to make Area Leader. Area Leader here is then going to get us to Lotus. And now that we've gotten to Lotus, we're going to use the Spirit Gates here to special back Lotus by discarding a card in hand. We're now activating the Lotus effect to special out Spirit. Spirit effect to set Nightmare Pain, activate Nightmare Pain, destroying Spirit to get Gruesome Gravescrown from deck to hand. And then we activate Spirit effect to special out Yubel. Now that we've gotten to that point, we're going to use the Squirmer effect in hand, special summoning it to destroy, and we're going to destroy the Yubel. Trigger the Yubel effect to get Terra Incarnate onto the field. Once we're at that point, we're going to link off the Squirmer and the Terra Incarnate to make Yama. Then on summon, we trigger Gamma effect to get Shavara. And once again, we already played heavily into Nibiru, so making the Phantom early versus late doesn't really mean anything. You're not protecting yourself from any hand traps. But now that we have that done, we're going to put back the Terra Incarnate and the Dark Beckoning Beast to make a Phantom. And then we're going to put back the Lotus and the Yubel to make a 2nd Phantom. This is just giving us extra bodies on field, so that way we're now able to use them as link material. So we're going to link off a Phantom and Yama to make Soul of Rage. Here we're going to then activate our copy of Squirmer in grave to special back a Spirit. Make sure you leave this zone here open for the Shavara, because you have to link that off into a Muckraker, and you want to make sure the Muckraker's link arrows are actually going to mean something. So now we've done that, we're going to activate Shavara effect in hand, targeting the Spirit to destroy it. Next, we're going to go Spirit effect as Chainlink 1. We're going to go Yama effect as Chainlink 2. Very important you do it this way, because if you notice, if you do it the other way, your board is going to be locked and you're not going to be able to resolve the effect of Yama. Because what we have to do with the Yama is we need to use that to pop our Soul of Rage on field so that we can then trigger the Soul of Rage effect. So we do that, and then we're able to successfully summon the Yubel and resolve that effect of Spirit. because we have free space. Otherwise, that wouldn't be a possibility. Now that we've destroyed Soul of Rage, we're going to use Soul of Rage effect to then add Engraver back to hand. Here, we're going to link off the Aerial Eater and the Shavara to make the Muckraker. And as I said before, we have the Muckraker arrows that now point to an open zone, so we're able to still use those as link zones. Now that we've linked off Shavara, we make sure to trigger that effect to set the Unchained Trap. Now that we have cleared our Fiend Lock, we're going to overlay our two 10s to then make Vordress. Now that we've done that, we're able to use the Fiendsmith Engraver effect in hand, discarding it to add Fiendsmith Tract to hand. We're going to activate the Fiendsmith Tract to add Fabled Lurie. We're going to discard the Lurie, and then Lurie is going to trigger to special summon itself. Next, to activate Muckraker effect, and Muckraker is going to bring back the Fiendsmith Engraver. Oops, that's supposed to be banished. Then we'll activate Fiendsmith Tract here, banishing it to fuse together our 3 Light Fiends into Desiree, and then we'll use the sequence to equip onto Desiree. And that is your 1-card Beckoning Beast combo that now ends on Vordress. So just to review what we have Vordress, the Omni Negate, which can also be considered a second interruption if you consider the destruction. The Unchained Trap, which will be third interruption, and then a fourth interruption if you go into SP. 5-6 interruptions if you consider Desiree. 7 interruptions if you consider Phantom. And then 8-9 interruptions with the 2 random cards in hand, off of 1 Dark Beckoning Beast. Next up, we have the updated version for 1-card Fiendsmith Engraver combo. Pretty self-explanatory. We start with Engraver, use it to get Tract, activate Tract to get Lurie, discard Lurie, special summon the Lurie now, link off Lurie into Requiem, and run Requiem effect, and here is where it changes. We summon the new Lacrima. On summon of Lacrima, we're going to use its effect to send a second copy of Engraver. This is just going to give us more resources so that we have more follow-up. Again, we use the copy of Engraver Engrave here to put back the Lurie. So for this combo, I like to put back Lurie because we're playing multiple tracts now. And since we play multiple tracks, it means the tract now has a follow-up special summon if we put Lurie back in deck. This way, it also does bait out any Bestials your opponent may use. It makes them significantly weaker because we have 2 Engravers, not just 1 Engrave. And we still have a normal summon, so any of your hand traps could also be considered follow-up in this situation as well. Now that we've resolved that though, we're going to use Requiem to equip to the Lacrima, send the Lacrima to grave to make a Necrocrypt Princess, and again, Necrocrypt Princess, its sole purpose in this combo line is to function as extra resources in grave, so that at any point later in the turn, if we need to, we can banish it for Aerial Eater. But we're going to link off those for sequence. We're going to use sequence effect, putting back the Lacrima and the Requiem, leaving our 2 copies of Engraver both engrave, so that way we have more follow-up and it's harder for our opponent to disrupt us. Now that we've summoned Aerial Eater, we're going to use the Aerial Eater effect to then send a Samsara Lotus from deck to grave, link into Muckraker, use the Muckraker effect to bring back the Lotus, and then Lotus effect will activate to special summon Spirit, and we've accessed our Yubel engine. Spirit on summon sets Nightmare Pain, activate the effect of Nightmare Pain to add Squirmer to hand, then activate Spirit to special Yubel, activate Squirmer to special summon to destroy Yubel, and then use Yubel effect to special summon out the top copy of Terra Incarnate. As previously said, we don't have to worry about making Phantom early here. We've already played into Nibiru at this point, so it doesn't really matter when we make Phantom. Next, we link off the Terra Incarnate and the Squirmer for Yama. Use Yama effect to add Shavara, and at this point, we're now going to put back Yubel and Terra Incarnate to make Phantom. Here we'll activate Squirmer just to bring another body onto the board with Spirit, so that we can link off the Yama and the Spirit into a Soul of Rage. We're now able to trigger Shavara in hand to destroy the Soul of Rage, and then Yama 1, Soul of Rage channeling 2. Soul of Rage will target a Fiendsmith Engraver in grave, add it back to hand, and then we're going to bring out, and this time we're going to bring out the sequence here. So we bring out sequence because we just need more Light Fiends to be able to make Desiree. Next, we're going to put back the Phantom and the Lotus Engrave to make an extra Phantom. Again, this is why I like to play 3 Phantoms, because you use 2 Phantoms in combos. So if you get disrupted at any point during the combo, you can then You don't have to be sweating about it because you have a third Phantom that can still be on your end board. Whereas if you play two Phantoms, you don't have that same luxury or that same resilience to hand traps and interruptions. You're then going to link off the Shavara and the extra Phantom for a Moon, and this is what you put back Moon, and now you have a third Light Fiend, so Tract now has the ability to fusion into Desiree. Trigger your Shavara effect to set Chamber, and then you can banish the Tract from grave to send the 2 Light Fiends on field and the 1 in hand to grave to end on Desiree, and then activate Sequence effect to equip to your Desiree. So I know this isn't as good as your other combos, but again, this is still a pretty nice end board that you're able to do now, based because we have the access to Lacrima, which gives us more Light Fiend bodies to work with. It is still 2 interruptions off the Desiree, 3rd interruption from the Chamber, 4th interruption if you use Soul of Rage going to SP, 5th interruption from Phantom of Yubel itself, 6, 7, 8 with the 3 cards in hand. So off of 1 Engraver, it's still a good combo, right? You're ending on 8 interruptions off of 1 card. So a new 1 card combo that now I would actually consider a competent 1 card combo is Fiendsmith Tract. Prior to Rogue of the Abyss, this card was not good because you just simply couldn't get the Light Fiend bodies to make Desiree, and you'd end on a really, really weak board that could die to 1 to 2 interruptions, or you'd be forced to play the Escape Trap with 2 Yama to end on any competent board. However, that's not the case now. So this combo starts off with you activating Fiendsmith Tract to get Lurie, and then Lurie discards to the grave, special summon Lurie, summon Requiem, and then Requiem gets the new Fiendsmith the new Lacrima, the Scarlet Sorrow. I essentially call this Fiendsmith Lacrima because it's a Fiendsmith card. On summon, it then sends you Engraver to grave, and that's how we get our extra Light Fiend body that we couldn't get access to before. Once again, activate the Fiendsmith Engraver, putting back the Lurie because you can use Lurie later. We now play multiple tracks. Activate the Requiem to then send the Lacrima to grave so that you have this if you need it for extra follow-up by bringing back the Area Leader. Link them both off into Sequence, and then you're able to now activate Sequence, putting back Lacrima and Requiem, leaving the Engraver engraved so that we can later in the turn make Desiree. To make Area Leader sends the Lotus to grave, make Muckraker effect to bring the Lotus back, activate Lotus to get Spirit effect will then get Nightmare Pain, set it to field, and then you destroy the Spirit. It's essentially the same thing as what we did with the Engraver combo before, but we'll still walk through it. We destroy it with the Pain got Squirmer, then triggered the Spirit of Yubel effect because it was destroyed, special Yubel, then activate the Squirmer effect, enhance the special, and then destroy the Yubel. Yubel effect triggers to get Terra Incarnate, link the Squirmer and the Terra Incarnate into a Yama here. Yama will get Shavara, and then we're going to be able to put back the Terra Incarnate and Yubel to make a Phantom. Use Squirmer effect Engrave to bring back Spirit, link off the Spirit and the Yama for Soul of Rage. So we brought Soul of Rage out now. Then we trigger the Shavara effect here in hand to destroy the Soul of Rage, and then we are able to trigger Yama Chain Link 1, Soul of Rage is Chain Link 2. The Soul of Rage will target the Engraver in grave to bring it back to hand. And then for it, we bring back Sequence to then make sure we have the extra Light Fiend body. And finally, we're able to Contact Fuse using Spirit Engrave with the Lotus to just essentially make another Phantom for Link material. Link that off into a Moon of the Closed Heaven to get your third Light Fiend body. Trigger Shavara to set the trap. And then much like the last combo we just showed you, banish the Fiendsmith Tract from Graveyard to fusion someone using your 3 Light Fiends, make Desiree, and then equip Sequence for the exact same end board as before, which means it doesn't matter whether you start with Engraver or Tract, you can still end on the same board. Just a little bit different about how you get there. Our first 2-card combo is going to be Lotus plus Engraver. This doesn't end on the God board. It still makes a very good board though. Maybe with more time to test, I could figure out a way to make this the God board, but I'll keep everyone updated if I can actually figure it out. So get started. Start with normal summon Lotus. We'll activate Lotus effect to go to Spirit. Spirit get Pain. Then use Pain to destroy Spirit to get Squirmer. Spirit will activate to summon Yubel. We activate Squirmer in hand to then destroy the Yubel. And then Yubel is going to trigger to get Terra Incarnate. Here we'll link them both off for Yama. And on summon, we'll trigger Yama effect to get Shavara. At this point, our opponent could have hand trapped us, but it really doesn't matter if they hand trap us because we still have infinite amount of follow-up, as well as still having access to our Fiendsmith engine with Engraver in hand. At this point now, we're going to put back Terra Incarnate and Yubel to make Phantom, and we are just protected from hand traps. Now we activate Engraver freely to get Tract, use Tract to get Luri, then discard the Luri, Luri special summon itself, then we're going to use Requiem to get the new Lacrima, and then Lacrima's effect here is going to put another Engraver in the bin. This just gives us more materials and resources to work with. Link off the Yama and the Lacrima for Soul of Rage. Use the Squirmer in Graveyard now to bring back the Spirit. And then we're going to use the Engraver effect, Engrave, putting back the Luri in deck, and link off Soul of Rage and Sequence, Soul of Rage and Engraver for Sequence. Use Shavara effect here to pop the Spirits. Spirit effect chain link 1, and then Yama effect chain link 2. We're going to destroy a copy of the Shavara just to get it off the board, so that way we're not Fiend locked anymore. And then we're able to use our 2 10s to make Vordress. And then finally we're able to use the Sequence. I think this is where I noticed that I forgot to trigger the Shavara effect in the replay here. I should remember to get the trap from deck soon. But we're going to use Sequence to make... Yeah, there we go. In this replay, we use Shavara to set the trap. Sequence made the Desiree, and then Sequence effect will equip to the Desiree, leaving us at our end board. So just to review what we have off of our 2-card combo, we have 2 interruptions from Desiree, potential 2 interruptions from Vordress, so if that's 4, the trap, which gets Soul of Rage, is 5, and then Soul of Rage itself being getting into SP, which is 6, 7 off Phantom, and then 3 random cards in hand, which could be hand traps / more interaction, for a total of 10 interruptions. So these combos actually will get you to the god board. We're going to start with Throne Lotus as our first 2-card combo for that. So we'll start off by activating Throne, and there's a few reasons you'll do Throne here first, and one of the primary reasons is to see if your opponent has an Ash Blossom. If they have Ash, they'll definitely Ash the Throne, which means you know your Lotus will be able to evolve. If they don't Ash the Throne, then they don't have Ash. We're actually going to use, instead of adding, we're going to destroy a Spirit from deck, and then use the Spirit effect to summon out Yubel. Now we're going to normal summon our Samsara Lotus, and then we're going to use Lotus effect to special summon out Spirit. Spirit effect will get Pain here. And then we don't need both Spirit and Lotus in the grave, so we're going to Contact Fuse them for our first Phantom, and then we're going to pretty much link the Phantom off into with the Yubel into a Moon, and then use Moon to link into Requiem here. And once we get to this point in our combo line, our opponent can never really disrupt us. They should have already done it. But if our opponent wants a nib, we're always able to trigger Requiem. So Requiem will trigger to get our Fiendsmith Engraver. And if they remove our Spirit from grave, we're able to, from field by card effect, we're able to trigger Throne to then get to the Terra Incarnate. With plenty of material in grave, Contact Fusion will be available. We can go to Sequence. We still haven't triggered the Pain. It's just too much interaction for our opponent to really stop. So we'll activate Pain here to destroy Spirit, getting some Grave Scrimmer. Then we'll use Spirit as Shelling 1 and Throne as Shelling 2 to get Terra Incarnate onto the board. Especially Yubel back from grave. Link them both off into a Yama, and then Yama effect will get Shavara. Here we can Contact Fuse Yubel and Terra Incarnate back in the deck to make our second Phantom. This is one of the reasons I personally like to play 3 Phantom, because in these combos where you need to use them early as link material, you can, and know that if you get disrupted, you still have the third one to be able to end with a Phantom on board. Here we're going to use Requiem to summon out Lacrima, and then Lacrima's effect will send Engraver from deck to grave to give us the extra material. Use Requiem effect to equip to Lacrima, and then you're going to make Necroquip. This is how you get the extra level 6. And then use Engraver's effect to shuffle back the Moon, put it on field, and then link off the Engraver and the Yama to get yourself to Soul of Rage. Next, we're going to use Shavara in hand, targeting the Soul of Rage and destroy it. And then we're going to trigger Yama effect chain link 1, Soul of Rage effect chain link 2, targeting the Engrave. This will just give us an extra material because we still haven't used the Engraver effect to search out Tract. And then we're going to special back the Spirit and destroy that Spirit with Yama's effect. And then use Spirit to get the Yubel out. Next, we'll activate Engraver to get Tract. And then we're able to trigger Necroquip to draw an extra card, which will just say we drew Imperm, so have no impact on how our combo will play out. Next, we'll use Tract to get Luri and then discard Luri. We're going to now trigger Luri effect to special summon itself. And we're going to link off the Luri and the Shavara into a Fiendsmith sequence, triggering Shavara effect to set the trap. Activate sequence effect here, putting back 3, including Engraver, to make Desiree. Now we're able to finally use that Grave Squirmer effect in hand that we haven't. We won't destroy anything this time because we just want to use the body as link material. And then we're going to link off the Squirmer and the sequence for a copy of Muckraker. And then next we'll use sequence effect to equip the Desiree. Squirmer effect will bring back Spirit, allowing us to then use the 2 level 10s on field to make Vordrus. And then finally Muckraker will discard the extra card that we got for free off of Necroquip to bring back Shavara. And then we overlay Shavara and Necroquip for Desiree. No, sorry, not for Desiree. For Wave Hiking Caesar. And that is our combo. So let's just review what our interruptions are. We have 2 Caesar interruptions, 2 Desiree, which is 4, potential 2 on Vordrus, which could be 6, Chamber, which is going to be 7 to interrupt, and then we go into SP, which would be 8, 9 with Phantom, 10, 11, 12. So we have potential 12 total interruptions off of our 2-card combo. Our next 2-card combo is going to showcase Nightmare Throne and Fiendsmith Engraver. So we start with Nightmare Throne to get Samsara Lotus, summon Lotus, and use it to get Spirit. Then use Spirit effect to get Pain. We're going to activate Pain effect here, and Pain is then going to destroy Spirit by getting a Squirmer. We're going to activate Spirit chain link 1, Terra Incarnate chain link 2. Then we're going to summon. Then we're going to link them both off into Yama, and you're going to use Yama to get Shavara. Now that we have Shavara, we'll contact fuse both we'll contact both Yubel and Terra Incarnate together for Phantom. And now we can activate Engraver effect freely to get Tract. We'll activate Tract to get Luri. And we're going to discard Luri. Use Luri effect to special summon to the board. Link off Luri for Rec Room. Activate Rec Room effect here to get the new Lacrima. Use Lacrima effect to Foolish Burial Engraver. Activate Squirmer effect in hand to special summon. And then we're going to link off Yama and Squirmer into Soul of Rage. Activate Squirmer to bring back Spirit. And then you activate Shavara, targeting the Spirit to destroy it. Then we're going to go chain link 1 Spirit, chain link 2 Yama. We're going to bring out both of them. And then we're not going to destroy anything this time. We're just going to link off the copy of Lacrima and Shavara for a sequence. Trigger Shavara to set the trap. And now that we're not fiend locked anymore, we can overlay our 2 10s to make Vordrus. Here we are now able to use the Engraver effect Engrave, putting back the Luri, and then we're going to use the Requiem to equip to the Engraver, and we're going to use that to make Necroquip. Now that we've done that, we're able to go sequence effect to put back 3 to make Desiree, then link off our 2 link 2s, sequence and Soul of Rage, into Muckraker. Activate your sequence effect to equip to Desiree, and then activate Muckraker effect to bring back the Shavara for your 2nd level 6, and then overlay your 2 6s into Wave Hiking Caesar. So just to review our interruptions, we have 2 off of Wave Hiking Caesar, potentially another 2 off of Vordrus if you count the destruction, so for 4, 5, 6 with Desiree, 7 with Phantom, 8 with the Chamber that disrupts with Soul of Rage, 9 when we make SP Little Knight, and then 10, 11 for 2 random cards in hand. Spirit plus Throne, updated combo. We're going to start with activate Throne to get Dark Beckoning Beast. We're going to use Beckoning Beast, normal summon effect to grab Spirit Gates. Spirit Gates is going to grab a 2nd Beckoning Beast, extra normal summon your Beckoning Beast, and go into Yama to get Shavara. Here, we're going to use the Spirit Gates effect, discarding the Spirit in hand, and then being able to special summon back that Spirit. And on summon trigger Spirit effect, why this is a really good combo here is because You have Throne to trigger when Spirit is destroyed, so you get extra bodies that way. If your opponent tries to Veil or Imperm, or for whatever reason they did to hold it, you have Shavara just to dodge any effect negation, even Imperm as well. So that's really cool layer of protection there. Then you get Nightmare Pain. Activate Nightmare Pain, destroy Spirit to get Squirmer. Then we're going to go Chainlink 1 Spirit, Chainlink 2, add Terra Incarnate and special summon it. And at this point in time, your opponent could always nib you, but it's really bad if they want to nib you here. So before that, after we make Moon, if we get nibbed, we have access to Shavara and Squirmer, so we have infinite follow-up in hand. Our Yama would be in the graveyard, which means we can trigger to bring stuff back that way. And then we'd have, we're supposed to have Yubel in here as well, but just skipped ahead too far. But we'd have 2 Beasts, a Spirit, a Terra Incarnate, and a Yubel. So we have ways to make infinite amounts of Phantoms, essentially, 3 Phantoms. So your nib is really, while it might seem like you can, it's really far too late to nib. So there's just too much follow-up. So continuing on, we'll then context fuse the Yubel and the Beckoning Beast together for Phantom. Very specifically, I like to leave Terra Incarnate in the grave. If we do get interrupted at any point, the Terra Incarnate will become part of our follow-up to make another Phantom. Also, Yubel, we're able to special summon it back out of deck when we destroy Spirit. So there's no reason for it to stay in the grave. At this point now, we're able to link off Moon for Requiem. Requiem effect will get Lacrima, and Lacrima effect will dump the Foolish Burial, the Fiendsmith Engraver from deck. Here, we're going to use the Requiem effect Engrave, equipped to the Lacrima, and then send them to grave to make Necroca Princess. Here, we're able to use Engraver effect Engrave, putting back Moon, special summon itself, and then we're going to link off Yama and Engraver into Soul of Rage. Next, we'll trigger Shavara effect here to destroy the Soul of Rage, and then we'll create a new chain, which Yama, Chainlink 1, Soul of Rage, Chainlink 2, targeting Engraver, Engrave. With Yama, we're going to bring out Spirit and destroy the Spirit. This is where I told you we're going to just bring back out the Yubel from deck, which is why it's important that we used it earlier in the combo versus anything else. It gets out more free bodies. We're using Engraver effect to add Tract, and here we'll be able to use Necrocrypt to draw a card. So we get a free card for our discard. Then we'll activate Tract to get Luri, discard the Luri, and then trigger the Luri effect to special summon itself back. Link off the Luri and the Shavara for sequence. Trigger the Shavara effect because it was sent from field to grave to get a chamber. Then we activate sequence, putting back 3 Light Fiends to make Desiree. And here we'll activate Squirmer in hand to special summon for a free body. And then we link off sequence and Squirmer into Muckraker. Next, we're going to use the sequence effect to equip the Desiree, and the Squirmer effect is going to activate the special effect Spirit to make a rank 10. Then we're able to use Muckraker effect to overlay to discard one, which will be the Imperm that we got for the free draw, bring back Shavara, and then overlay those for a Wave Hacking Caesar, which is still our god board of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 interruptions. Our previous god board interruptions end on a potential 12 interruptions. This one is a little bit better with Beast plus Engraver. Now the downside to this one is it plays into a little bit more hand traps and interruptions because you have to go through Area Leader to access your Yubel engine. So instead of just playing conservatively into hand traps, like, oh, if we get hand trapped, we're going to lose, just go all in, do the best you can. That way, it doesn't really matter, but when it resolves, you'll resolve the best possible board you can resolve. So start off by activating Engraver. Use Engraver first in these combo lines because your opponent could Bestial you, and if you have nothing on the field, then they can't activate a Bestial before this, so just better to start with Engraver. Then you'll use Track to get Luri, and then Luri special summon into Requiem, and when Requiem gets you new Lacrima. Lacrima effect here will dump an extra Engraver, so you just have more free bodies this way. And then we're going to use Requiem here, and we're going to send Requiem with the new Lacrima to the grave to make Necrocrypt. Then we're going to summon Beckoning Beast here, get a Beckoning Beast to get Gates, and then Gates will get a second Beckoning Beast. Here we'll activate Engraver, putting back a Requiem, link off the Beckoning Beast and the Engraver for a sequence, and we'll use it to we'll use sequence effective fusion summon for the Area Leader. Area Leader will then send Samsara Lotus to grave, and here we're able to use the opening gates, discarding the extra card, extra Beckoning Beast here to bring back the Lotus. But additionally, this is even better because we're now able to earlier trigger the Necroquip Princess to get another draw, which can potentially change the way we do our combo. But for this case, we'll just say we drew Imperm, which will have no impact on how we would change the combo. Next, we activate Lotus Effect to get Spirit. Spirit sets Pain, and then use Pain to destroy Spirit, getting Squirmer. Trigger Spirit Effect to summon Yubel out of deck. And then activate Squirmer, summon destroying Yubel, and then use Yubel to get back Terra Incarnate on the board. Here, we don't need to have Yubel in graveyard, so it's very important to put it back with the Beckoning Beast, because we're going to use the Spirit to summon Yubel back out of deck later in the combo. So we make Phantom here, and then we're able to link off the Terra Incarnate and Squirmer for Yama to make, and then Yama effect will get Shavara, and then we're going to link off Aerial Leader and Yama to get to Soul of Rage. Here we're going to use the Shavara in hand to destroy the Soul of Rage, triggering both Yama and Soul of Rage. Soul of Rage targeting Engraver, Engrave, and then Yama bringing out Spirit, and then destroying Spirit, which will allow you to special summon, activate Spirit effect to special summon Yubel out of deck. Here, we're going to put back Terra Incarnate and the other copy of Dark Beckoning Beast. This is going to give us an extra Phantom on the board. Once again, seeing why we want to play 3, so that way we always have materials for our Phantom. And then we're going to use the Shavara and the extra Phantom to link into a copy of Moon. This is going to give us the 3 Light Fiends we need to make be able to make access to our Desiree. Now we're going to banish the Tract using our Sequence on field, our Moon on field, and our Engraver in hand. This is just how we make Desiree without using Sequence. And then we activate the Sequence effect to equip the Desiree. Finally, activate the Squirmer effect Engrave to bring out the Yubel and make Vordrus. And then, additionally, the reason we left 2 Engravers in Engrave is so we have 2 level 6 Light Fiend monsters, which we can use Aerial Leader effect here to banish them both from grave, bring it onto field, and then we get to make Wave High King Caesar. So the reason I say this combo is better is our previous combos ended on 12. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we have a total of 13 potential interruptions from Beckoning Beast plus Engraver. So this is even better when you resolve full combo uninterrupted. Now we have the updated Beckoning Beast plus Spirit combo. So it starts with normal summon Beckoning Beast, activate effect to get Gates, activate Gates to get Beckoning Beast, and an extra normal summon the Beckoning Beast to then go into Moon, and then Moon into Requiem. Here we go Requiem effect to get Lacrima. Oops. Use Lacrima effect there to then dump Engraver. Yeah, I misclicked this one. There we go. Now we're going to use the Requiem effect to make Necroquip. And we wanted to make Necroquip here so that when we use Gates to discard Spirit, special back Spirit, we can get the extra draw off of... we can get the extra draw for our hand. The way it's supposed... So I don't think I've done this right. So, okay, no, actually I did. So we go Necroquip effect Chainlink 1 to draw, and then Spirit effect Chainlink 2. This way we can't draw into our 1 copy of Nightmare Pain. So we use Pain, and we're going to say we drew a copy of Infinite Impermanence in this combo. We then use Pain to destroy Spirit and add Squirmer. Spirit effect activate to get Yubel. Squirmer effect activate in hand to special summon, destroying the Yubel, and then special out Terra Incarnate. And then now, again, our opponent could nib us early here, but we still haven't used the Engraver effect up to this point, which means that's extra materials. We would have Squirmer in graveyard to bring back Yubel monsters. We'd be able to contact Fuse for Phantom, which we just did here by putting back a Yubel and a Beckoning Beast. So it's just, you have so much interruption, it's just too late for your opponent really to nib you at this point. But since they haven't, we'll just make the Phantom here. Then we're going to link off the Squirmer and the Terra Incarnate for a Yama. Yama effect will trigger to get Shavara. Here we're going to use the Engraver effect to Engrave, special to put back a Moon to special summon itself, and then we're going to link into Soul of Rage. This will allow us to now use Shavara to destroy the Soul of Rage. Yama effect is Chainlink 1. Soul of Rage Chainlink 2, we're going to target the Engraver Engrave to add back to hand. Bring back the Spirit, and then we destroy the Spirit to bring out the Yubel. Here we're going to activate Engraver effect in hand to get Tract, and then use Tract to get Lurie. Discard Lurie, trigger Lurie effect to special summon itself. Then link off Lurie and Shavara for Sequence. Once again, trigger the Shavara to put the chamber on field. And now that we're not fiend locked, we're able to use sequence. Oh, sorry. We use the Squirmer effect to bring back the spirit. And then here we're going to overlay them for a copy of Wardress before we get fiend locked. Then use sequence effect here to put 3 back to make Desiree. Then we're going to contact fuse for a second Phantom using Terra Incarnate and the spare Beckoning base left engraved. Link off sequence and the Phantom for a copy of Muckraker. Next, trigger sequence to go into Desiree for Unigates there. And then finally use Muckraker effect, discarding the extra card we drew off of Necroquip Princess. So then going to make Shavara and then going to Wave Hiking Caesar for a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 interruptions, which is, again, your God board. So our next combo is going to be Throne plus Beast. And in this combo, our sequencing is a little bit different from the other combo lines we're doing, but it will still result in the same end board. So first off, we'll start with Beckoning Beast, use effect to get Spirit Gates, and then activate Spirit Gates to get a second Beckoning Beast. At this point, we next are going to use Throne, and Throne is going to, instead of adding, we're going to destroy a spirit from deck and use Spirit Effect to special that Yubel. Here we're able to link them both off, Beckoning Beast and Yubel, to make Moon, and that's our third summon. Our fourth summon is then going to be putting back Yubel and the Beckoning Beast engraved to contact fuse for a Phantom. And this is going to protect us from any interruption our opponent could potentially have. Next, we're going to use Moon to link off into Requiem, and then activate Requiem effect here to summon Lacrima. And then Lacrima will affect to Foolish the Fiendsmith Engraver from deck. Next, we're going to use the Requiem effect to equip to the Lacrima and then send them to grave to make Necroquip Princess. Here, then we wanted to make Necroquip here because we want to get a draw off of our Beckoning Beast if possible to give us extra card advantage. So when we discard a monster card for cost here, we're able to bring Spirit back, and then we're able to go Necroquip, draw effect Chainlink 1, Spirit effect Chainlink 2 to set the Nightmare Pain. And for this combo's sake, we'll say we drew Infinite Permanence, a card that doesn't change our combo line at all. But for whatever it's worth, you could draw something that changes your combo. We'll then activate Pain, and it's, again, the same thing. It's just Pain, destroy Spirit, get Squirmer, and then we'll go for this combo. Spirit effect Chainlink 1, Throne effect Chainlink 2 to special summon Terra Incarnate, and then bring out Yubel. Here it's a little bit different. We're going to use Engraver a little bit earlier here, putting back Moon and special summoning it to the field. So we're going to summon Engraver, and then we're going to link off using Engraver and Terra Incarnate here for Yama. And then Yama effect will add Shavara. And this is where it gets a little bit different. We're going to leave this Yubel on field. And we're going to use Terra Incarnate and a Beckoning Beast. We're going to contact fuse for a second Phantom here. And we're going to use the Phantom and Yama to actually make Shavara here. Oh, sorry, Soul of Rage. And then we're going to use Shavara effect to target the Soul of Rage to destroy it, special summoning itself. And then Chainlink's trigger here. We go Yama effect Chainlink 1, Soul of Rage effect Chainlink 2, which will then target Engraver Engrave to add to hand. And we're going to bring back our Spirit. We're then going to destroy the Yubel with the Yama. This is going to give us an extra material which we can link off, which will be the Terra Incarnate. We're going to link off Terra Incarnate here and the Shavara for a Muckraker. We're then going to use Shavara effect to set the chamber. We'll then activate the Engraver effect in hand to get Tract, activate Tract to get Luri, and then discard Luri, and then trigger Luri effect to special summon itself. And here, because we still have Squirmer, we're able to use Squirmer effect to special in hand. Then we have 2 extra bodies we don't need. We'll link those both off into a copy of Sequence. Then we'll activate the Squirmer effect Engrave to bring back our Yubel, which is our second 10. We'll overlay them together to make a copy of Wardress. And then we'll be able to use Sequence effect to put back 3 Light Fiends to make a copy of Desiree for our Negate. We'll activate Sequence effect to equip to the Desiree. And then finally we'll use Muckraker's effect here, discarding the extra card we got off Necroquip here to bring back Shavara, and then overlay them for Wave Hiking Caesar for a total of 12 interruptions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now the difference in this one is we also got Terra Incarnate out of deck, so we can't draw it for the follow-up turns. That's a little bit of a thing people might overlook in this combo, but I like it because, again, we're taking bricks out of our deck. Our final combo for today is going to be Beckoning Beast plus Lotus. This is what I would call the most basic of 2-card combos that will get you to the god board. So if you can only memorize one combo, let it be this combo, because there's multiple ways to see these 2 cards. So we'll start off with Beckoning Beast, get Spirit Gates, activate Gates, get Beckoning Beast. And then here we're going to extra normal summon for Lotus, use Lotus effect to get Spirit. And then we're going to get Pain, use Pain effect to destroy the Spirit, to get Squirmer, and then Spirit effect will activate to get special Yubel. Squirmer will then activate itself in hand, special summon and destroy Yubel. And then we'll use Yubel effect here to get Terra Incarnate. And then at this point we don't need Yubel and Lotus Engrave, so we're going to contact fuse those together to further protect ourselves against opponent's interruptions. Here we'll link off Terra Incarnate and Beckoning Beast for Moon, and then we'll link Moon off into Requiem, and then Requiem effect to get our new Lacrima. And then we'll use Lacrima effect to dump the Fiendsmith Engraver. Here we'll use Requiem effect to equip to our Lacrima, and then we're going to send it to grave to make Necrocrypt Princess. Here we'll then activate our Fiendsmith Engraver in grave, turning Moon back to the extra to special summon itself, and then we're able to link off Engraver and the Squirmer for a copy of Yama, trigger Yama effect here to add Shavara from deck to hand. Next we're going to put back Terra Incarnate and Beckoning Beast to make our second copy of Phantom, to use it as link material here. We're going to link off Yama and the Phantom for Soul of Rage. Next we're going to use the Shavara effect in hand, target the Soul of Rage, destroying it to special summon, and then we're going to trigger the Yama as Chain Link 1 and Soul of Rage as Chain Link 2 to bring back Engraver to hand. And we're going to bring, with Yama, we're going to bring back Spirit, and then we're going to destroy the same Spirit, which is then going to get us Yubel out of deck. Now we will activate the Engraver effect in hand to get Tract, and because we used the monster effect... Did we not draw a card in this combo? I don't think we drew a card here, so we were supposed to draw an extra card here. So imagine we have an extra card here from Necrocrypt Princess. That was a mistake in the replay. We're going to discard Luri, and Luri will have a special summon itself. We'll link them both off for Shavara and make sequence, and Shavara effect will trigger to bring the chamber onto the field. Then use sequence effect here to put back 3 Light Fiends to make Desiree. We'll then discard the... yeah. I'm sorry, I'm tired, it's long. Yeah. So we didn't use Necrocrypt there because we wanted to make sure we didn't draw the Luri. We wanted to use it later in the turn. That would allow us to have the deck a little bit more thinned, although not really, because we've put them back into deck anyways with sequence. So it doesn't really matter. I would have... Yeah, we should have drawn it a lot sooner with Necrocrypt. Oh well. Just say we got an extra card here. Then we'll link off the Beckoning Beast and the sequence for a copy of Muckraker. We'll use the Squirmer Engrave to bring back our second level 10 to make Vordrus. Use sequence effect Engrave to put onto the Desiree. And finally use Muckraker's effect here, discarding the card we drew off Necrocrypt to get Shavara back, and then end with 12 interruptions by overlaying them into a Wave Hiking Caesar. And that is going to be our final combo for this video. And that's going to be it for this combo video today. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all learned something that you can take with you for the post Rage of the Abyss format. Let me know down in the comment section below if there's anything you'd change or if there's something I may have missed. I would love to hear it. But I'm Retro Wajir. Thank you very much.